Welcome back, boys and girls, to the horrors and stories that never end. Spring may be here, but horror is always around the corner. Grisly ghouls from every tomb. Turn your radio up or feel your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body will start to shiver, 'cause no real mortal can resist the captain of all charisma. Coming from planet Mancave itself, give it up for the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Chocolate Thunder, a.k.a. DJ Brett. Thriller, baby!
And welcome to another edition of Brett's Man Cave, coming straight from Planet Man Cave itself. My name is Brett, aka Chocolate Thunder, your host right here, guys. And if you guys want to follow along anywhere on social media, go ahead and follow me on Brett's_Man Cave. Or if you guys want to follow allmylinks.com/Brett's Man Cave, go ahead and do that too. Well, I don't want to hold you guys because this one has been a long time making. Another Brett's first exclusive interview with the one, the only, the Moon Child herself, Miss Nicole. Hi, hello there.
Hi, how's it going?
You're good. How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm excited about this podcast because this one's been a little bit of a long time making, right?
Yeah, we've discussed this happening at some point.
We have. It's been like one of those things that's been a back and forth. And again, I get it. Brett's Man Cave is no close experience. So if I can't have you there, I'm gonna come to you. The cave is gonna come to you. The cave is infinity. The cave is everywhere. So yeah. So I got Miss Moonchild, I think you go by sometimes. What's Moonchild going by?
Moonchild was I do that because I'm a Cancer. I'm born in June. I'm that baby.
Okay.
And Cancers are ruled by the moon, so hence Moonchild.
I get that. Okay, and then again, I gotta always draw a diagram for my people who listen to me, because everyone needs to know what I'm experiencing here at the time being. Okay, like now you and me, I think have a similar like interest. I think one of it is that we're both black. Right, I can assume that you're black, correct?
I mean, if we're going to be technical about it.
I mean, if you want to be technical about it.
I'm Creole, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, okay, Creole. She's Creole, okay, but with dark skin complexity. But I know I was looked at as frowned upon as growing up as a black kid who dabbed in the alternative lifestyle. I think it's fair to say, right?
Yeah, we're a very rare breed.
We're a very rare breed because I don't think that people understand us in the idea that we also have this thing where as people don't understand us, but I think we're more in tune with things, if that's correct. If that's fair to say.
No, that's a completely fair assessment.
Because I don't know, for me, I grew up in like Woodland Hills, right? So I grew around a lot of white kids, right? And so basically, when I grew up, I was always listening to like Aerosmith and other rock stuff. And I honestly, and this is a story I probably told a million times on the cave, that I've always grown up listening to rock first before I even heard rap, right? So I'm like, dude, rock, it's totally kick ass, right? And so I finally get moved to a public school, and in the hood where my aunt's at, and I was like, what is this, like this Tupac Shakur guy, right? And so now, but I've already instilled in rock music as well. So, and that's how I always grew up. And I'm like thinking, no one's like me. And I'm like feeling so sad in life. And I was like, oh my God, this sucks. And then I find you, the treasure troll. The one in a million breeds. I'm like, it's like Superman finding, like his cousin, like, oh, you're there. There's another one like me. Oh my God, my soul was so happy. I was like, oh my God, this legitimately, I couldn't explain how happy I am when I find another black person who's like, you like rock too? You like the dark arts? Oh, this is great. Wonderful days in heaven there is. So, and how did you ever get into your darkness, I think, I want to call it?
It was so gradual when it happened with me. Like for example, I never saw the movie Beetlejuice as a kid.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with it, but I grew up with the animated series.
Right. I
So
did too. Okay. Cool. Old school.
so I started watching that as a kid, and I liked it far more than a lot of my other kids my age. And by the time I hit like 12 or 13, I was reading a lot of like Stephen King. I was very much a book nerd. So like at the time of like 6th grade where kids were like, I want to dress up as Britney Spears or a Pokemon. I'm like, I want to go as Carrie in my bloody prom dress to my school dance.
And you know what? And no one judged you further. But, again, I know when we're doing that kind of thing and, people look at us like, and you're just like, I don't, it's just what I like. I can't help this.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Like, so when I find this rare breed, it's like so amazing. We'll get to how we officially met, but I always have to try to like, get a little story, get a little recognition. We got to start from ground zero. We throw it back in the days when we start moving forward, and then we get to our storyline. But it's always good to know something about somebody when you meet them. So I was like, I know we haven't had too much interaction yet, but this is like our first real day of interaction. We're like, we've talked about a lot. Like we've gone through like all the stories and all the cool things you do, you know what I mean? And I think in talking about growing up, into dark things, I remember when I first, I think, ever got to like middle school, and I think Korn just came out, and I was just like, oh, what's up, right? And I was like, it's Korn. I had dreads, I was like all like, decked out in black too. And my teacher, swear to God, said I was like into satanic rituals and shit. And I know exactly. And I had skulls on me, and I was like, she was like, oh, she told my dad, I was like, he's into Satan. And I was like, music, Dad, it's what it is. So it was the funniest thing to ever see. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm scaring this lady, but again, and I was like, I felt like hidden. I felt like I wasn't a true self because these teachers are going to keep writing to my dad like, oh, he's into Satan, and it's like it's just rock music. I like this kind of thing. You know what I mean? So again, I like that. So again, so you're saying you first got into Beetlejuice, right? And what else did you get into?
What also made this a lot harder was a lot of my school years, like 5th, 6th grade, all the way through college, was actually all done in Hawaii. And you think Black Goths are scarce in the late 90s, early 2000s here in LA, even more scarce on an island. So I was like one of maybe 50, maybe less Goths in the entire state. So coming into my own on that was really hard. Also, my mom definitely became like a mom in the 80s, so she was very much part of that satanic panic. So when I came home from like my own home economics class in 8th grade with a black and purple cloak that I made, she lost her shit.
Just throwing holy water on you. You get out of here. What is your name, demon? Como se llama, demon?
Every single one of my friends was a heathen. They were getting me into all this satanic shit. And this is around the time I discovered this Finnish rock band named Him, which is still my favorite band of all time. And their symbol is the heartagram, and she was starting to see it around people because Bam Margera was getting really popular at the time. So he had like heartagrams on his shoes, his skateboard decks, everything. But I liked the band. And I came home and I told Mom on my 17th birthday, I'm like, next year I want to get a Him tattoo. And the level of freak out she had.
As usual. As they would. Yeah, I get that.
And I think my dad and my sister's husband were my biggest cheerleaders for like, just let her get a tattoo. It's a band tattoo. She'll never know any other loyalty in life more so than this. Like, it's not a boyfriend's name or anything.
Right.
So, because my dad had a band tattoo, my brother-in-law, he had a prince's symbol on his shoulder. So she's like, just fine, let her get the tattoo. But I don't agree with it, and I won't pay for it.
At least your mom let you get a tattoo. My mom was against everything. Tattoos, pierced ears. I couldn't get my ears pierced until I think I graduated like college. And I was like, even then, I wanted to pierce my ears. And she's like, no, get a tattoo of like some pierced ears or something like that. I'm like, Mom, that makes no fucking sense. Like, why? I was just gonna get my ears pierced. I can take them out as much as I please. But I get that. I get the stigma behind everything. And it was sucking growing up. So I get that. I get your idea. So what made Him sound so great that you wanted to hear it all the time?
Oh, I was such a depressed, angry child all the time.
As we all are.
Like the angstiest of the angst. And I don't know, just something about Him's music. Never mind the fact that I have always will, have the hugest crush on the lead singer, Villa Vallo. But no, just the music just spoke to me. I was such a loner. I was so desperately wanting to be in a relationship. Like, it was a whole thing. But no, just became a fan like in the early aughts of the 2000s, and it just stuck. To the point where my birthdays, I would request my mom, don't buy me anything, but if him is playing in LA, I'm flying out, I'm gonna go see them. And since I became a fan, I never missed a single show they've ever done in LA except one.
Which one was that?
I had to do, it coincided with me doing filming for the TV show Face Off.
Ooh.
It was the same day.
I love that show. And
I had to make a choice, and I was like, no, the Face Off episode that I had to film, it was only the one, so I was like, no, I have to do it.
I love Face Off. Face Off is a good show to watch. Like, I don't know why I get into it, especially I think as we get into it that I worked horror nights, and Nicole came and she saw a lot of us at horror nights, right? She's one of our fans, we call it. She's one of the family. Let's just say it real. Well, she's a family member at this point. It's true, because there's some people who are fans, and there's some people who are super fans, and it's just like when you have somebody who's so close and they get the best sides of us, even when we don't think our best sides. I mean, we can go out there, have a shitty day, and literally, you and Bree are drawing us, and it's just like sometimes we're like, ooh, well, that's fucking cool. Look at that. Like, it's always something when it's like we're scaring somebody, and it's just like we turn around and something just throws us off as characters. We're like, oh, look at that. Like, it's just, if you can do it to us, then that means you hooked us. So, like, we are fans, and we're like cool about that. You know what I mean? So you started off going to Hawaii, being this goth black Creole, right? got to throw all that in there. Got to mention all that cool stuff, right? Details. The proof is in the details, guys. Gotta be specific here, because Brett wants to be chronologically accurate when I tell you stories later on to my grandkids at some point. But we gotta get everything correct, okay? So you do that. What got you into horror? Like, what made you say, you know what? I like scary shit.
I think I kind of told you about it, but when I was 6, my sisters, I have 2 older sisters, they wanted to go see The Crow.
Okay.
No correlation to the new movie that's coming out, but they wanted to go see it, but they had to babysit me that night, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to take her with.
Right.
And I don't remember anything much of it, because I'm a dumb 6-year-old seeing this very R-rated comic book movie, and I was just so fascinated by it. But my sisters were also the ones who, even if they had movies at home on VHS, they would let me watch it with them. So I ended up seeing majority of the Friday the 13th movies before I was 10.
My favorite.
So we watched a bunch of them together, and I think the first horror movie I ever watched on my own, I believe it was Stigmata. And I mean, I don't think it was even my choice. It just happened to be on TV. So I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And
okay, it happens a lot.
Freaked me out, but loved it. And as I remember as a kid, eventually later on down the road, Halloween was the one I really sat down and watched with my sisters. And I remember as a kid being so terrified of the stark whiteness of Michael Myers' mask that I couldn't even listen to John Carpenter's music without freaking out, because it just scared me so bad. But I was one of those, like, look, if I'm going to fear it, I want to know more about it. So I kept watching, and I'm like, you know what? This is a thing now. This is my life.
Okay. Who would you say is your favorite slasher? Is it Michael Myers?
It's Michael.
God damn it. Not another one. No, I'm not allowing this. I'm not allowing another Michael Myers fan. I'm sorry. I can't.
Did he hurt you?
He did. Like, I don't even know if he's hurt. Because, I mean, I don't feel like he's the greatest slasher to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if anyone out there who's feeling Michael Myers' way. I know there's a giant Michael Myers fan base, but I've never found him to be the most terrifying slasher there was. I think it's like, even if it goes in the pentagram, if him and Chucky, I'd rather pick Chucky over him, because at least he had a story in life. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. But my favorite is, and probably not my ultimate favorite, but I will say better than I like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. I'm sorry. Jason Voorhees for me, look, Michael had one job: to kill his family for whatever reason he wanted.
Okay, but argument made.
Okay.
That wasn't his prerogative in the Rob Zombie Halloweens.
True.
Nor was it necessarily his prerogative in I call it the Blumhouse trilogy, which
Okay.
is Halloween 2018,
That's
Halloween
fair.
Kills, Halloween Ends.
But he always just tried to kill. He always tried to kill Jamie, right? It was.
I don't understand why he still needed to go so hard for her in the
That's
Blumhouse
my
trilogy.
point exactly. Why is he? What is his motivation? Why does he just want to kill this one person? It's like
Maybe it's the one that got away.
But maybe he kills her, and then what? Does he just die off? Is it the thing like, look, Jamie, we have to kill you for the greater good of humanity. Michael will stop killing everybody else if you just die.
Okay, point taken.
See, Jason, it was clear cut. Camp counselor was fucked up. They let him drown. He came back. They killed his mom. Then what happened? He wanted revenge on everybody. He didn't know who the fuck everybody was, but he killed everybody who came to Crystal Lake. If it don't came to Crystal Lake, he wouldn't have to kill nobody. But it came, he killed them. Boom. Argument settled.
Okay, I'll give you that. And I'll even argue too, Michael doesn't have the strongest of sequels because I know everybody kind of has a love-hate relationship with the Thorn trilogy. You can just say, I hate it.
She hates it.
Pretty hard. And everybody on the flip talks a lot of shit about Rob Zombie's Halloween. I personally like that.
I liked Rob Zombie's Halloween, and I'm a kind of guy, even between music and movies, like I always give the second movie the second better chance. Like, especially if it's like a good remake of a song or something like that and it sounds better, I always like the remakes, and I think Rob Zombie's version was really good. And then I saw the Rob Zombie's extended director's uncut version. I was like, holy shit, this is even better than the first one.
I just feel like out of every interpretation, and this is no disrespect to any of the other actors who played Michael, because I've met a handful of them, and they've all been sweethearts. Like Nick Castle, I love him to death. James Jude Courtney plays the most recent version of Michael. I've met him too. He was a sweetheart. But Tyler Mane is easily the most threatening version of him I've ever seen.
Interesting. I dig that. I like that a lot.
Like, go back to the bathroom scene from Rob Zombie's first Halloween.
Right.
With him and Ken Foray. That was, that bathroom scene, that was all them. That was no stunt performers. That was a real bathroom that they destroyed by themselves. And both men are easily like 6'6". Like, they're stupid tall.
And I appreciate the Rob Zombie's version of it too, because I don't know, it gave you a little more insight to Michael and who he was. You know, like he was this kid, obviously bullied, but also had like this weird, you know, kind of like thing where he just like to kill animals, and you know, he just was like you know, a little bit of a bad kid, you know what I mean?
Kid.
Exactly, like, you know, give you the idea of like, you know, this is like a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of person, kind of, you know, a little Ted Gacy, you know what? He just had a fucked up childhood, you know, little fat sweetest boy, you know, just got a little fucked up haircut, and you know, his mom's a stripper, sister's possibly hoeing somewhere, you know what I mean? But it gives you like Michael's just, well, maybe he just had enough of that shit. He's like, I'm tired of this white trash family fucking it up, like, right? And he's like, you know what? He's got a point. He's got a little solid point there. So then he became Michael Myers, and like, okay, you know, insane asylum. He wants to get the fuck out. I get it. I get it. Michael was fighting for all of us at this point. I'm just like, so I'm like, somebody like, go Michael, go freedom, Michael. I like this. I dig this. All right. So then we go from movies. We go from scary movies that you like. Okay. Then you go to horror nights, right?
Yes. So, God, my first Halloween Horror Nights, I want to say, was 2008.
Oh God, it's bringing it back there.
Yeah, no, I've been going almost consecutively since. I think I only missed 1 year, and that's also not counting 2020, because 2020. I remember I used to do this, and I wish I still did, but I used to collect the pamphlets from every year I went. So I have some from way back when. And I gotta make a little comment here. I remember the mazes being so much more gory, more blood, more intestines.
And I'll tell you a little secret.
Oh.
They were. and we've gone down the path. I mean, literally, I could tell you stories for days. Because, as you said, you started in 08, you said? Mm-hmm. Right? I basically was there since 06, which... God, I feel old as fuck now. These are what I call tales of the past. And it was like, God damn it, right? And every year I worked horror nights. I always had some young kids coming up. I remember when I saw you when I was like, 8. You know, I was like, oh, my back. Oh, God, my fucking back just got thrown out. God damn, get away from me. And that's what it was. It was like tales from the past. And it sucked because before, and it's crazy. I can tell you how we first started. Like, and John Murray is a tribute to this, and he tells us how it started as well. Like, it started, and I always saw the flyers for it. Like, I always saw Horror Nights, and I think it was like in 2009. No, it was 99, 98, 99. Just in the 2000s, and I always saw like the gremlin. It was like the gremlin thing, and I never saw it. I just always saw like a gremlin on someone's eyeball, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I never associated that it was like a scary park or anything like that. So that's what happened. And then I guess it wasn't making money. It wasn't doing anything. These are, again, John Murray stories that he tells us, and I have to take it for word. And so basically from like 2000 to about 2006 or 2005. They never had Horror Nights. They just stopped doing it.
I remember hearing about this. I watched like so many YouTube documentaries that talked about how it was thriving in Orlando, but Hollywood couldn't get its foot down.
Yeah, Halloween couldn't get our foot down. We couldn't get our shit. And I think Six Flags was doing it. They were doing...
Knott's was doing it at that time, too.
And Six Flags at the time was doing a really good job at it, too. Like, I don't know if it was just because I was 6 or 8 years old going to a horror night thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, what the fuck are these things? And I was scared shitless about this place. And then eventually, you got this kid fresh out of like high school, and I think maybe just out of college too. And I'm just like, hey guys, I need a job. I want a job here at Universal. I was just like, let me just get a job, push a button on a ride, and I'll call it a day. That's all I wanted as a kid. I just wanted to push a button on a ride and just make shit work. And things wouldn't work. That's what I prayed for. So basically, I'm going there for a job. They didn't have any jobs. They're like, do you want to be a character? I was like, moi? What entail do you say is a character, good sir? And they're like, well, you get to run around scaring people, and do I get paid for this job? And like, you get paid. And I'm like, well, sign me the fuck on. I guess if I get paid to be in a costume, why the fuck not? Never done it before, never even seen it. Let's go ham on it, right? And so that's basically what got me into Universal Horror Nights. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's start scaring people. But it was the most craziest process. Like, it was so, I don't know. It was unorganized. There was no, as much as they tried to make it organized, it wasn't. It was just dogs and horses without leashes. We're just going rampant everywhere, right? There was no such thing as a scare zone. Every scare zone, I think, had a theme, but didn't necessarily mean people had to stick to that theme. And so, like, literally, I'm going, hey, I'm number 87, and okay, 87. I don't know, wear this. And I was like, okay. And at the time, there was this ugly ass, I don't know, like business suit. I don't know why. It's just this random ass suit. And then they're like, go to makeup now. And I was like, hey, I'm 87, because we have this placard, this card that has your number, and it gives you a little baggie, and makeup and stuff was in there. And it's like, hey, I'm 87. And they're like, okay, 87. I don't fucking know. Put this mask on. They gave me prosthetic. It was like this weird zombie-ish mask for whatever it was, right? And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm just like, what am I, a zombie coming home from work? What's going on here? And so, that's life. And then I literally was, and then I was like, I don't know. I guess this is where I go. How do I get to go out to that gate over there? And I was like, walking in. Oh, before you do, go to props real quick. And I go to these guys, and there's all these chainsaws on the ground, and at the time, there were like these big, heavy ass chainsaws. They were just big and neon colored, and like yellow and green, and the blade was like 18 to 24 inches long. So you're just like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, hey, I'm 87. I was like, you look big enough. Fuck, here's a chainsaw. Go ahead and have it. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, I don't know how to turn it on and off. And what do I do if it runs out of gas? Runs out of gas, come off set, take a break. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's just what I did. I went out there and I scared some people, and my chainsaw ran out of gas, and I was like, I guess it's break time. And then I just walked back, and my hands were, at the time, you'll figure this out, you talk to enough of those saws. Well, there's a terminology we call saw claw, and basically when we hold the chainsaw for way too long and rev it too hard, our hand just gets stuck like in this little monkey paw formation, right?
That's called arthritis.
And yeah, it basically was an aggressive arthritis, if you will, and we literally had to like press our hand down to the wall just to open our fingers back up. It was the most painful experience ever in life. And yeah, that's how we opened our fingers, and I had blisters. We never had gloves on at the time because no one told us about gloves. So it was the worst of everything. Like, it was like the chainsaws were heavy and aggressive, and no one told us to not just rev the saw. That's just all we did. We just rev saws, and we just walked around all of Universal. We were just walking around. Like, I walked through, like, again, guy, zombie business suit, the chainsaw. I'm walking through fucking cowboy country, and there's a cowboy ghost there, and he's scaring people, and me and him tag up, and then I go off somewhere else, and we're just roaming the whole Universal lot, just whatever. We just did whatever we wanted. So, again, things were probably a lot more gory back then. I mean, we can literally grab people. We were holding hands with people. We would kidnap wheelchairs and take them off into the dark abyss of life. And people were like, where the fuck are they going with that wheelchair? And no one said anything to us. So again, wild. It was really wild. Like I tell people what we did before. They're like, wow, they let you guys do that? Man, fuck it. They didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. At one point, I think one maze had closed down. I think it was called Asylum. And you literally just see all the Asylum inmates just running through Universal for whatever the fuck reason, because their maze was closed for like so long. That's just what happened. So wow. So then, yeah, that was 2007, and we only had 13 nights.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that now that Halloween Horror Nights now runs a solid 2 months.
God, it hurts so much. My back is thrown out again. So you say you started in 2008?
Yeah, I did a couple years of college, then moved back out to LA in 2007. And yeah, just slowly kind of found my way to Horror Nights through some people I knew. And I was like, what the hell is Halloween Horror Nights? Like, I was just excited to, at the time, my brain was like, Disneyland! I live near this now. And everybody's like, yeah, but there's Universal. I'm like, oh yeah, that park.
That park. Wonderful.
But again, through people I met, I got to go to Universal more often, just during the day. And then a year into my being here, someone mentioned Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm like, I love spooky shit, so tell me more. And we got to go to an employee preview.
Fancy. When you get somebody, that was a connection. When you get someone to take you to Horror Nights and employee preview night,
I mean,
that is like fancy right there.
I'm gonna air quote this, but so much so he put a ring on it.
Okay.
But that's came and gone. So none of that story.
He's gone.
No, gone. Very much so. It's a blessing for me.
There you go.
Him, I don't know nor care, but
there you go.
But no, so yeah, we went to Horror Nights, and to say I was scared is such an understatement, because me, little naive Hawaii girl, just has no clue what any of this is. This is my first experience being borderline touched and having performers legit breathing down the back of my neck. So scary to me.
Breathing?
More like tired.
we did get a lot. Again, we got a lot away with like murder back in the days. We just would just do shit. Like it's like probably shit we can't do now, but definitely shit we just did it. Like breathing on people.
But you know what? It added to what made me fall in love with it so much in the first place. I know, granted, you guys can't really get away with it now, but for at the time, fucking incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Just give my applause. There you go. Thank you, guys.
Come on, give him his flowers.
Just a little bit. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, it fucking hurts. Okay, my back is going out again. God damn it! Like every time I feel someone says, "Oh, so long, Brett." Oh, my back. Why?
Yeah, but, really, I haven't noticed.
Yeah, haven't noticed. Thank you, and again, this goes thank you to Excedrin with caffeine, because that was a miracle drug given by the gods. Because I would not get through Horror Nights without it. Because there's nights I'm broken, and it's just I can't do this. So I'm like walking, I'm limping. Take 4 Excedrins, walking out like Superman, just like walking out like nothing's wrong with me. That's so life. So your first interpretation of Horror Nights you go through. What was your first maze? Do you remember?
Oh, I wish I could. I want to say...
We only had 3 mazes, goddammit. You got to remember one of those goddamn mazes.
I want to say it was Saw. But I mean,
we did not have Saw back then.
Okay, I know. Then it must have been one of the later years, because I'm having the hardest time remembering.
We might have had Saw. Well, no, I don't think Saw, because I remember basically the first year was director's cut. That was the first year I did it. And that was the 13 Nights of Halloween. I had that. As a little fundamental thing, when we worked for Universal, they always get to give us these like badges, if you will. And they have like little wallets, and the little wallet had like the year you did it and the kind of the theme logo. So I always remember Halloween, and I think it had 31 or 13 on it, depending on what I was looking at. But that's why I remember it was like 13 Nights of Halloween. So that's when it was like just high dry cut. And then the following year, John Murdy was like, hey, we've actually made some money from this. Let's see what we can do with studio, because we work in the movie theaters. Let's see if we can get some characters or Halloween things. And so that's when, I'm pretty sure for 17 and possibly 18, we did it back to back. We did Freddy, Jason, Leatherface.
Yes, and you guys coined that. And it's actually a term I use pretty often. Is those were the Titans of Terror.
Yes, we were.
And I loved that title. I absolutely coined it.
I think I have a sweater for that, and I was like so happy. Like, yes, Titans, let's go. But as you see, there was no Michael Myers on there.
Because you're a fucking hater. That's why.
Okay. That's a fair argument. That was a fair argument. I'll give that to you. That is a truly fair argument.
I need you to stop dogging my boy here.
I'm not gonna lie. And it's probably biased as well, because originally, after I did the Chainsaw for the first year, I came back the second year, and then they're kind of like, okay, well, we made some money. Let's categorize some things now. Let's get Michaels, let's get Jason, or not Michaels. Let's get Jason. Let's get Leatherface. Let's get Freddy in here. And they were like, we need bodies to fit these people. We need bodies to fit these things. And so the one thing they made me like, hey, that guy's big enough. He could be fucking Jason. Brett, you're gonna be Jason this year. And I was like, fuck it, I'm Jason. I was sad I didn't get Chainsaw, but I was like, yeah, fuck it. If they want me here, maybe next year I'll get it. Whatever. I'm not thinking I'm gonna keep working here, whatever, right? So I became Jason, and which was funny because that's like the first year we found out that we had so many different Jason variations. If Loki was a show, and let's say we made a variant of Jason having like a Loki time variant show, Friday the 13th was that variant. We had big Jasons, we had little Jasons, we had thin Jasons, we had fat Jasons, we had women Jasons. We did have a woman Jason. I remember her name was Carla, and I called her Tank. We did go to college together, and I was like, big ass tall woman, yo, call you fucking Tank, yo. And that's what everybody called her too. We like, you're gonna be Tank from now on. And to go with how gory we were at the time too, we were very also sexual for Horror Nights, because we had one of the parts in the Jason maze with my one good friend Hannah. She actually plays if you go to Universal, she actually plays Velma. She plays Velma Dinkley. You probably see her. I'll show you a picture later, but we originally had called her Foreplay.
Okay.
I know. Yeah. It's when you're like, intriguing. Please do tell why. So literally Hannah's main job in one of the Jasons is, they called it the double impalement. John Murray's idea. Where there is a bed, and Hannah, and in the scene for the movie, it was a girl and a guy, they were doing the thing, and Jason comes in and impales both of them with a spear. And
I remember that, yeah.
So John said, let's recreate that. And so they fucking created that part. And so literally Hannah laid under a fake person for like hours on end at a time. And the poor girl had to basically do some sick ass acting where she was sounding like she was moaning, but also sounded like she was being murdered at the same time. And so from another room, you hear, oh God. And it's like, you hear that, right? And then you like, and if you're a person walking in the maze for the first time, like, oh, someone's getting spicy in the next room. Oh, I wonder what pre-tells in the next room we hear. And then next thing you go in there, you see Hannah under the guy, and Jason's impaling the dummy that's on top of her on like this flat board, and she's under there just moaning and dying at the same time. And it's like, oh, Foreplay. Like, so that's kind of the name we just gave her. And so one time her mom came.
Oh no.
and she told me, hey, my mom's coming. I was like, no way, cool. And so her mom, I think, came through the wrong direction. She walked out the maze on accident. She says, hey, I'm looking for Hannah. You mean Foreplay? Yeah. And so she was totally excited for her. Like, right? Like, yeah, Foreplay, totally. And I was like, so we were like, yeah, you go back to that door, make it right, listen for the moaning, and that's your daughter. And right. And so she went in and she told me, like, my mom said she met you and you were great and she loves you. And I was like, your mom was great too. So like, we called her Mama Foreplay. So it was the greatest thing.
God.
So it was amazing. So again, Horror Nights used to be kind of gory and sexualized. So yeah, so that's the good old days.
I also do remember back in the day too, you guys, when you first entered the park, you used to have go-go dancers.
This is very true. We had go-go dancers, and I think you need to start a petition with everybody else to bring go-go dancers back.
Approved, because I genuinely miss them. And as someone who definitely did work amongst the sexually perverse way too young, I honestly, people are like, yeah, they're getting sexualized and ogled. I'm like, yeah, again, but they knew what they signed up for. With
They have a job. That's basically what you're saying. They have a job, and they're doing the job well.
And truth be told, I lived of that lifestyle myself, so I personally approve of it. Like, oh my god. Not only do I want to start a petition to bring back the go-go dancers, can we bring back Slaughter World? Because I never got to see it.
I watched Slaughter World, and it was fucking amazing.
And again, people cried sexism for that too, but I'm like, okay, but this is so female empowered. It's girls half naked, chainsaws, killing men.
Very true. Very true indeed. And to go on both those topics. So first of all, going back to 06 with the chainsaws, because again, shit was wild. Alcohol's in the park, and this is before they stopped alcohol, because they had stopped alcohol. Alcohol's in the park, and they realized people were fucking insane. They get drunk, they get belligerent, they go off and shit. There'd be literally brawls with security and these drunk guests in the park kicking them out, kind of thing, because they're drunk and hitting somebody, or they touch the go-go dancers. So literally, and we at the time we kind of called it martial law, because we're like, look, security's not really helping us at the time. They still don't. So we were like, let's see how this can work with us, right? So literally, they came to the chainsaws, Ace Chainsaws. Security is occupied with drunk people, so we need you to watch go-go dancers, like literally. At the time we had 4 of them, and they were located. 2 were at where the Simpsons was. I think it was Back to the Future at the time, but may have been the Simpsons at the time. And then they had 2 in the front of the park, so they would kind of switch out before. And they weren't the prettiest go-go's, because they're like these zombie faces. I'm like,
you know what? That's somebody's kink somewhere. Don't shame it.
I'm not gonna shame it. You know what? You're right. Here at Brett's Mancave, we don't shame anybody in their kinks. We already know everyone has kinks. So there you go. So my fault for that. But that was kind of the thing. And so like chainsaws, you guys are in charge of go-go dancers. So we became their like bodyguards and shit like that. So that's kind of, I think, where we still to this day, we're like their bodyguards. We're like, yeah, make sure they're staying safe, and we always go around making sure they're cool. And thank God to our lovely PAs and show controls who always take care of us and take care of the go-go's as well. But it was like kind of cool. Our go-go's were like our cheerleaders. We're like, yay, go saws. We're like, go cheerleaders, go. Because what is horror without death, gore, and hot cheerleaders?
No, yeah, absolutely true.
Exactly the point. And so bring back, if you guys take it back, you guys are depriving horror. Okay, that's just basically what it was. So they keep taking away things every year. It's like, stop taking shit away. Like, that's what made us so good to begin with. Let's do what get us to the dance in the first place. This is what people wanted. This is what people loved about it. Keep it. You know what I mean? So that's our thing. So,
like, there was distinctly, I remember there was a year where I used to always see like the warning signs before you even entered the park that this is a 15 and up again. And I want to keep that in mind. 15 and up was the signage that I used to see. One year I came and it said 13. I'm like, why?
It got younger and younger.
I'm like, no. Like, if you want to play it safe for that 13-year-old shit, then take it to Fright Fest, take them to Disneyland. But Horror Nights is so adult, and it makes me so happy.
Trust me, we'll get into like all that shit too, because this is what actually started fucking up a lot of characters and stuff like that. But going to the Slaughter World real quick. Slaughter World, I'm sorry you missed it.
Never got to see it.
It was a great, amazing show. I know on my breaks, because at the time we had like hour breaks. It was at the time we were all like on there for like hours on end at a time. Like our breaks were very scarce. It was like we were on for an hour and a half and we were off for like 30 minutes. But we would talk to each other. Hey, I'm gonna go watch Slaughter World. Can you cover me for like an extra hour? Like, yeah, sure, go ahead, why not? So I go watch Slaughter World, and it was great. The deacon was a woman, and it was like her whole BDSM squad with her, and literally they would cuss on the show, and blood would be shooting out. Tiny's or Virgil, whatever his name is, his name was Dick at the time. So the funny joke was, he's like, hey, and it was funny, the guy who usually yells at the deacon is like, hey, deacon, fuck you, right? He was like, hey, bitch, and he's like, ooh, and he's like, yeah, you suck, and blah, 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 and she's like, hey, Dick, and he's like, who are you calling a dick? And then there'd be Dick right behind him, like, oh, shit, and then like Dick would just punch the fuck out of him, and it would be so funny. The humor behind it was hilarious, and she was like the deacon, and she was like, yeah, we're going to find dry land, and we're going to spank it and thrive it and smack it and like strip it. And I'm like, I want to help you find dry land. Like, I will be the first to find dry land for you if you let me on this crusade with you. So it was a great show. I'm sad they took it away at the time. It's like, and people kept getting offended by stuff, and that's like the worst thing. It's just because the younger kids kept coming. It's like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Go away.
I mean, I heard something similar happened with Bill and Ted. And
yep, exactly.
Jabberwockies.
Exactly the thing that happened with Bill and Ted. And Bill and Ted even had a video promo before the show started that said, if you don't like our show,
if you don't like these words,
if these trigger you, walk the fuck out. Like, and stop ruining for everybody else. And everyone's like, yeah. And of course, one person says one dumbass thing and then they get everybody canceled. And it's like, in fact, that person should feel guilty because they got all those people fired, which sucked. Because then you got to think about these people lost jobs. They didn't have a job at all. They had a job, and then people got offended, and then now everyone has no job. So that's the thing that people like don't understand. It's like, oh, well, they were offended. I was like, well, you saw what this was. We didn't say this was a PG thing.
There was warnings before you entered the room. Like, come on now.
Did you ever hear the story about the lady who got fired? The auctioneer lady from Purge?
Yep, heard about that. I think I was there the night it happened.
Oh, you watch those girls. You watch those.
I was so
She can't say it, but I'll say it.
mad.
Those whores. Oh, those whores. Because, again, there was this auction lady, and she would do her thing. She was from the Purge, and obviously anybody...
Election year, to be specific, actually.
Exactly. That was...
or was it Anarchy?
It was before... It was like Anarchy.
I think it was Anarchy.
Because we had the military militia masks. And I remember somebody had a militia mask, and it wasn't me, but it was somebody else. But I did wear the militia mask following year. But yeah, I remember that. And she would go around auctioning people, and she made fun of me. I walked by like, who's this big guy with the muscles? You have enough muscles, big guy? And it was like just making fun of me and clowning me, and I laughed.
I know some of it was scripted, but yeah, she definitely would just ad-lib stuff.
Yeah, and as they should, as they're improv people, and so, they got to keep going, but maybe that's what the downfall was, too, because they didn't go off script, but Megatron doesn't stay on script, and Optimus doesn't stay on script.
I love the fact that Megatron never stays on script.
I love when Megatron just talks shit to people. This is like the greatest day. I was like, oh my God.
My favorite was a particular time, sidebar, but Bree and I went one year, and we just went to the lower lot just to hear Megatron just talk shit to people, and he loves specifically to rag on anybody who shows up in Hogwarts robes. Specifically if you're a Hufflepuff.
Of course.
Like, you're catching the most hell.
That, or if you have cargo shorts.
Yes.
He had some guy who...
You and your cargo shorts. Who wears cargo? It's like, I'd see myself in your head.
And you're like... Get him, Megatron. Fuck him up, right?
So, say the quiet part out loud for us, please.
Which one?
All of it.
All of it. Just tell him how we feel inside, Megatron. Like all the people think you suck, and it's like, yes, we do. And don't even know the guy. I feel bad. It's got a 3-year-old kid. He's just dragging on. It's like, yeah.
No, dragging hard.
Just drag it hard. Fuck that Hufflepuff motherfucker, right? Like, no one likes Hufflepuff. Those are those sensitive kids that get fucking cry at horror nights, aren't they?
Sorry, Bree.
Bree, I'm sorry. Bree, if you're watching this, I was not in on that.
I love you.
She hates you so much.
She totally does.
She talks shit about your wall, too. Anyways, we, as Brett's Mancave also does some investigating journalism here. You have a wall, do you not, in your apartment?
Yes, I have a wall dedicated strictly just to Halloween Horror Nights.
Just Halloween Horror Nights. And it started with the coffin mirror.
Yes, I found a full-length coffin mirror, which is the centerpiece, because I like the idea of not only is it surrounded by art from one day, other artists, other than my beloved Bree, but I wanted the coffin mirror in the center because it reflects that you are also part of the monsters.
And we are dead.
Yes.
We are dead inside from the mummy. Let's see. So, again, on this wall with the coffin mirror, you also have blood stains like all through the wall.
Yeah, my manager had a minor conniption about that, but it's covered in like blood-stained hands. Me and my homegirl put all of that together, flecked blood splatter to look like, I don't know, just like an explosion of blood just happened.
And then I'm gonna go take a hint on this one. And as long as I've been working horror nights, Yeah, this is where I have a pet peeve with Bree. Bree and Nicole. Let's see. As I've been working at Horror Nights for, about 13, 14 some odd years now, right? There's a lot of drawings that Bree did, and she's very talented as an artist. And
She's fantastic.
I will never take away. I love how all her characters as well that she draws look like Scooby-Doo, like evil villains at some point. She needs to like throw these things to Scooby-Doo, just like, hey, look, I got a villain for you, right? Call him the assassinate ghost, or the Alice Cooper ghost, or Baba Yaga ghost, because this is from last year when we had all the ghost areas.
Yeah, 2023.
Offended. Okay, cool, great, wonderful. Keep going on with the offensive-ness. So I'm going on this wall, and I literally see everybody. I got is that Nick Aquino, right?
Yeah.
As the Alice Cooper ghost, and we got Ian as Baba Yaga, and then we have Sergio. Even Sergio's on the wall, and Sergio out here is kind of tolerant of hitting Bree a lot, so getting offended by it, right? Then we got Ian again, okay, that's Brandon actually. I think that's Brandon.
Yeah.
That's more of a Brandon pose. And then I'm going to assume if that's not Nick, that's Adam.
Sorry, Adam, but no, it's Nick again. Particularly because of the rolled up sleeves.
Oh, so we have two Nicks. Further in my investigation of While I'm Pissed Off. So now we have two Nicks, not just one, two Nicks. And do we know what ghost lady this is?
That one's kind of hard to tell. I know Bree used reference from both Katie and Jordan, so I'm not 100% sure.
Now, usually, to be fair, Katie has a little bit more of a bigger bum kind of thing, so...
I am not...
and I can feel that that's more of a Katie thing, and Katie is a smiler. Like, Katie, something about her just under her mask just seems like she's smiling at you, even when she's just like...
This is also no offense to Jordan, because I absolutely love her, and honestly,
and I love Jordan too.
Between the two of their ghosts, Jordan was the first one I actually met out of costume, but we did give these ghosts nicknames.
Okay.
Like for example, Ian we nicknamed Flashlight because he always has one.
Fair.
Nick we nicknamed Rever, and Sergio's ghost we nicknamed Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. I could be Juggernaut. Why he gotta be Juggernaut? Why is he Juggernaut?
I don't make the rules.
Okay.
And then Brendan, because he essentially is Ian's double, we named him Torch because that's the British way to say flashlight is torch.
That's fair.
And then Katie and Jordan's ghost we nicknamed Side Eye, and it was actually specifically because of Katie. It was the way she would look at you. And
yeah, Katie does that.
And I am assuming also just because she has larger eyes, and it just, the way it stuck out under the mask, I'm like, yeah, we're nicknaming her Side Eye. Okay,
that's fair. So we go for those ghosts from last year, right? We got the doll, I'm not really worried about that. Then there's another chainsaw here squatting down, and you said that's...
That's Chris.
Chris. I love Chris to death. But it's still Chris.
Again, I don't make the rules.
And I think Chris joined us that year, for the first time. I think he was the first time chainsaw that year, too.
The story goes that I've heard from Bree, which I'm assuming she got from Chris, was that, yeah, he wasn't even supposed to be there. He was just filling in.
He was.
She just so happened to be there that night and drew him.
Uh-huh. Meanwhile, for 14 years, I've been walking around Horror Nights, breaking my back, and I have not one drawing up there. Who did I talk to about this?
For the record, the look he's giving me, like I'm at fault for this.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, give him the awkward look.
Help me. I don't tell her what to draw. She draws what she's inspired by or from interactions. I don't know.
Just all scares on one inspiration, huh? Never came there on Terror Tram. Never saw the ants. Never saw the... Well, actually, that's not fair because she did do one pumpkin.
Actually.
Or was that you?
No. That she drew... She did this fairly recently, too. She drew Darla as one of the flies.
Oh, Darla. A 2-year chainsaw Darla. Has she broken her back for 14 years? I love you, Darla. Nothing against you. Just the artist I'm looking at.
I'm not the artist.
You're the back and behind the artist. You're the artist camera person.
I'm still on the spot right now.
Yes. Anyways, Bree, if you hear me, we don't have to talk, young lady. We'll have a talk about some things, especially my tenure of back pains and things like that. Just you know what? That's it. People always ask me. I feel like a John Wick at this point because I always say I'm gonna retire, guys. This is my. I've been doing this for so long. It's like, nope, I'm coming back until I get one damn picture. Like if it has to be my pinky toe, I don't give a damn. I want to be on this wall somehow, drawn.
Wait. Park it.
Okay.
I swear she has drawn you as a pumpkin.
She drew a pumpkin, yes, but it's on the wall.
It was a quick sketch.
But it's not on the wall. I don't have a cool comic book with the ghost.
To be fair, not all the ghosts got him either.
JB got one. He got not just a head one. He got a full body one at some point.
He was very persistent in the most loving kind of
as
way.
JB is. He's a very persistent kind of guy. He is very theatrical in his things as he works at Disneyland. So yes, I get why he's very theatric. If I gotta go next year, I'm not leaving the Horror Nights now. Just till I get a picture now. Just till I get a picture, and it's good enough to be on the Wall of Fame of Death over here. Like I'm not leaving Horror Nights, guys. That's my ultimate goal. When I do that, I will literally drop my chainsaw, walk off set, be like, that's it. I have officially quit. I got my picture drawn. It's on the wall. I am good to go. My work is accomplished.
Okay, so it may not have been a polished, finished product, but she has drawn you, sir.
Until I'm a Scooby-Doo ghost or a Scooby-Doo character in a movie or a show, I will not stop. I have Superman punch people. I have Naruto run with my ant suit.
That you have.
I've even done. Look, I'm telling you, you don't think I'm sore. I'm sore and tired as shit. Ian's probably the only person who can contest to how tired we both are, because me and him have daytime jobs that we do back to back. So we come straight from Horror Nights. It's 3:00 in the morning when we finally get off. Then we have maybe an hour or two to get where we're going, and then sleep, and then before we start our jobs, and then we have to come right back to Horror Nights again. And again do the same shit and with same intensity, and we don't ever. I hope we don't let people down and they think, oh, they're doing a horrible job. We go 100%, 110% sometimes, you know. And it's funny when all the old veterans were just like, what the fuck are we still doing, bro? Like, I don't know, man. It's just like, why do we hate ourselves so much? Like, our bodies just can't. Like, I remember when I first started, I was fresh, no knee braces and no ankle braces.
Oh,
and,
you sweet summer child.
And we were going ham, and I was just so sore. And every year there's always an addition. Okay, let me do knee braces this year. Okay, let me do ankle braces this year. Let me do a back brace this year. And it's just like, what are we doing to ourselves, Ian? He's like, I don't know. We have him, Joseph. Who else? Joseph. I know Cheston's done it for some years now. And we always look at each other like, what are we doing?
So then let me ask this then. What is the cap for what is considered a veteran Saw or a veteran HHN scare actor?
Just 1 year. After you do 1 year, you're basically a veteran at that point. You know, you're looked up as a peer because we may leave. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if tomorrow, like, you know, we have someone who like Sergio, who's fairly new Saw, or let's say me, Ian, and everybody else leaves, and you know, the 1 year person is the only one who's got experience doing Saw. Guess what? He's the veteran. He's the veteran at that point. Anybody who does Saw for a year, you know, or any character, I don't want to just say Saw, but any character who does a character for a year or does Horror Nights for a year, at that point you're a veteran. You know what I mean? You have the patch of honor. You know, every year they give us like this patch that says we're alumni. So therefore, the next year you're that person. You're the person people look up to, and so you're like, yeah, I want to do that now. So yeah, so now. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's veterans, and then there's old ass veterans, and then we call them the OGs. You know what I mean? Especially when people would know, like, hey, remember that time we used to just touch people? Hilarious, right? And the time we used to take these wheelchairs from people? Hilarious, right? Remember this one little Asian kid got so scared, like. So there's like one little Asian kid, and he's walking with his parents, and it's like him, his dad, his mom, and his sister, and I see them trying to creep. And by the way, if you try to creep around us, it doesn't work. We see you, we feel you, we have this weird spider sense that just goes on, right? And so I saw this kid and his parents trying to sneak around me, and like just the Thor of hammer just comes down. My saw's in the air, and it cuts between the dad and the son. And the dad breaks off from the son. And he goes running off, and him, his sister's mom, and the sunset. But then this little boy is just looking at me with this sense of like, fuck, I'm gonna die. And like, right? And then I'm looking at him, and I don't know what to do at this point. I'm looking at his dad. His dad's looking at both of us. We're looking at him like he's a bitch. And it's like, and he's like, you're not gonna kill me now, are you? It's like, your dad just left. I'm not. Get out of here. Like, he owes you Christmas, bro. He owes you for Christmas. Okay, you let him know he's a bitch when you go home. So yeah, that's always what happens. So don't try to run around us. So yeah, that's basically what happens and how we live the life of Horror Nights people.
It was so wild. There was one year, I used to do theater for a while, and I made a handful of friends. Well, let me be more specific. It was shadow casting, like how people used to do perform Rocky Horror with the movie playing in the background. I did it for a movie called Repo: The Genetic Opera.
Okay.
I actually got very close to just about everybody involved in that film. Like, I'm actually friends with Darren Lynn Bousman, who did a handful of the Saw films. And one of the girls I used to do Shadowcast with ended up being in the Alien vs. Predator maze from that year. Ooh. And I will always remember it because it was a night that I came with a group of friends, including Bree, and she was one of the victims with a face hugger on her. And she actually broke code. And while we're walking through this, again, all my friends are like huddled up to me and like grabbing on me because I was the idiot who volunteered to go in the maze first.
You know why? They knew you were black. They said
I'll die first. That's why.
We watched enough horror movies. We've done enough research. You gotta die first. Where he's just like, you're going first. Was Bree with you? Was Bree with you at the time?
Bree was with me.
Yeah, she knew. Bree knew. Bree for sure knew. She watched. She's a horror addict. Okay.
Okay, but she also loves Alien vs. Predator, the first one, and the black girl was the final girl.
But she was the only one there, and it's like you can't kill the only female black person there. That's just racist and sexist on a whole new level.
Okay, fair.
Thank you.
But no, this girl with the face hugger on her actually grabbed my arm and was like, "Nil, don't go in there." And I was like, how did she know my name? Which, by the way, Nil is a stage name I've been going by for years. So if you ever see my social media, you'll see that my name is just NIL. It's just a stage name. It's a nickname that I used to go by when I used to do theater, and I just never got rid of it. So
I dig it.
It's pretty rare nowadays that I get called Nicole, but I accept it. I embrace it. But Nil
you take it.
Nil is just me. It is so ingrained in my life now. I've been going by that name for over a decade. So
okay, I got you.
So yeah, she just grabs my arm. She's like, "Nil, don't go in the next room." I'm like, "Oh, who are you?" So she texts me like 10 minutes later when she goes on a break, and she's like, "Gotcha." And I was like, "Courtney, you bitch, you got me."
You bitch, you.
And yeah, she was a girl I used to do theater with like a billion years ago.
It was always funny, especially when people know your name at Horror Nights. And this is, again, back in the days. When I got back in the days. That's, again, my thing. So when we run into people and someone's scared and, you know, especially a group of girls or whatever, and they're like talking to their other friends, "Oh my God, no, like, don't do that." Right. And we as characters hear that, right? We're like, "Oh, that's her name." And then, you know, we'll be like, "Nil." And they're like, "Oh my God, how does he know my name? Oh my God, he knows my name." And then they're freaking out. I was like, that was simple as shit. Like, that was too fucking funny. But that's what we do. You used to always hear someone say the name. It's like, oh, interesting.
I would expect nothing less at this point.
At this point, you know, again, I'm like a temple of vaults of things that just happened, and it's just like people are like, oh God, he knows my name. How does he do that? And I don't know why, for whatever reason, possessed me one year. I think we were band geeks at Terror Tram, and like we had like the My Chemical Romance outfits on and stuff, and we're like these like saws and whatnot.
Okay, Black Parade.
I'm telling you, if you see a picture of it, you're gonna be like, damn, that was Black Parade. It legitly was straight Black Parade outfits, and legitly it was like people were in this like field with me, like they were like they got like, you know, what was it they got narrowed down to the little corridor, right? And they had to kind of come through me. And so sometimes the corridor would get backed up to a conga line. So what I do, I turn my saw off and I just start creeping around people, just slowly looking at people and just breathing and stuff like that. Oh my God. And it's always funny to see people like freak out in quietness. And it's just like, oh my God, he's coming. What do we do? Shut the fuck up. We won't see, right? And I just see this. I'm like, oh, okay, I got one person to right, one person left. And I just kind of stop, just see their breaking point. And then I just look at them and I was like, and then I like turn the chainsaw on and I start looking at their toes, like, I want your toes. And people are like, no. And then essentially they had sandals on. And then I turn the chainsaw on and I started going, and they're like, no. And then every once in a while, I'm just like, I will eat your soul. And people are like, what did he say? And it's just like, you're like, yep, you're going to die. Like that was basically the whole Phantom point of that. So that was a miracle of happiness for me. So.
You know what, though? I'm going to say this, and this is absolutely setting me up for disaster in 2024 for Halloween Horror Nights. I will give myself this pat on the back. I'll give myself my flowers for this. Never once when I went to Horror Nights have I ever dropped. Like, you see those scare... Don't do that. You know those usually girls, that they get so scared they just drop to the floor.
Yes.
Never once has that happened to me in my entire history. And don't do that. Oh
yeah, it's going down now. It's going down. You're getting the biggest Superman punch. I'm going to come from down Main Street and just full force Naruto speed and just jump. I'm gonna get a chair and put it in the main street and just jump as high as I can, just down on that. Because
you know what though, there was this one story. I won't count this because this was cheating.
Okay.
But I was sitting near the Starbucks, and I don't remember what year this was. I want to swear it was either 2019 or 2021. And I was looking for just somewhere to sit. It was kind of the end of the night. I was kind of getting tired, but I wanted to chill and stay for Brigade. And I was about to sit down, and I noticed there was a scare actor behind the chair. And he did that, sit down gesture. I'm like, I don't trust you.
As you shouldn't.
But he did it for so long that I'm like, okay. There's no way I could risk getting hurt. Did my stupid ass fall for it? Of course I did.
As you should.
And as soon as I sat down, he pulled the chair away from me. And there were other guests near me that freaked out. I was like, oh my God, she got hurt.
She's dead.
And this scare actor died. Absolutely lost his shit. Laughed so hard. And again, he broke code. I don't know who it is, so I don't want to get anybody in trouble for that.
But, I mean, a lot of people aren't there anymore for obvious reasons, but But no,
he definitely gave me an arm up, and he kind of whispered in my ear. He's like, I am so sorry, but that was so damn funny. Are you okay? And I'm like, dude, that was hilarious.
I probably wouldn't have pushed the envelope that hard on it, but again, I can see why he did it, because I remember we nowadays we kind of do it methodically. We won't pull the chair from you. We just want you to sit there just to get you. Because this one girl, I think I was creeping in. It was like the purge year when I was a teddy head. And I was like walking and some girl was like sitting down. And I snuck up right behind her and she lost her shit and she took off running. Now, what's funny about that, I love when people take off running because they forget their shit. And her purse was right there in the chair. And I told her to come back and come get it. And she was like, no. I'm like, no, you're going to come back and get it. No. And like literally, like I would like walk away a little bit, and then I would turn my chainsaw on, and kind of like. So we had this game, like this chicken game, like where I'd see how far I can get away and see how close she would try to run for it, and then I'd run back after her. And, no. And literally, it was like the funniest thing. And I had a chainsaw, I'm putting it between the chair holes, and she's like, no. She thought I was gonna cut her thing. It was like, yeah, come get your shit. And everyone's just watching, like, this is fucking magic right here. Like, look at this. Like, and for like 5, like, and she would be, can you get my purse? I'm like, no. I was like, nah, yeah, she was not about that life. So again, we want you to sit, it's for a good reason. Like, no, sit here. No, do this. Do that. Sit. I said sit. Like, I don't know who it is, but it's just one influencer girl. And she came to Horror Nights like 3 years ago, and she always sat at Hollywood and Dine, and that's all she did, just sit in Hollywood and Dine. And so every time I went by her, I would see her like, oh, it's you, and it's like she's like, hey, it's you again, and I just walk off or whatever, and I still come back there and make sure she's still sitting there. And then one day she wasn't there, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I saw her not at Hollywood and Dine, but she was at the corner right where the chainsaws kind of marching out, and she was there, and I saw her, I was like, what the fuck? And right, and she, obviously we don't talk, so we're just using hand gestures. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm like, why aren't you over there? She's like, I'm sorry, I was over here. No, get back over there. So I literally escorted her back to that chair at Hollywood and Dine, because I was like, nah, you're not throwing the night off. You're back in this goddamn chair. So what made you guys ever want to just come to Horror Nights and just sit there and just draw us? Like, you just wanted to just...
No, according to Bree, because, okay, I guess in context, Bree and I have been friends since 2013, 2014. We met at Disneyland. And it was funny because she used to go there and draw characters or performers doing things there. And we actually became really close because they used to have like this rock show / DJ event called Mad Tea Party.
Okay.
Where the Alice in Wonderland characters are rock stars. So we met there. Actually, might even dare say Electronica, which was the event that came before it, which was all Tron themed.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she used to draw them, and I think she kind of started sketching me there, and we just became friends through that. And then we've been like best friends ever since. So I want to say 2013 or so was about the time her and I started going to Horror Nights together. And I want to say maybe 2017, she started getting an interest in drawing the performers. But it was a situation of we only would go maybe once or twice a year.
Right.
I don't know if frequent fear passes were available yet at that time.
Probably not.
But yeah, we only would go 1 or 2 nights, and she would just do a quick sketch of somebody. She wouldn't commit to it the way she does now.
Right.
And yeah, so she started getting into it then, and then 2019 just evolved a little more over time. By that time, I know frequent fear passes were a thing because 2019 was a really cute, not as scary, but it was very 80s themed, and I really loved it.
Oh yeah, and that's the one with Chris, right? The Roadkill.
I think that was 2021.
Possibly.
That was the comeback year.
Yeah, the comeback year. So I was probably Roadkill. That was Roadkill year because we would walk down that street and they had like 80s night, and you know how hard it is to walk down the street. You got a full chainsaw gear on, and you walk by something, and you know we have Rob Zombie usually playing and all the other things, but then you kind of go into this weird version of just Toto playing.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Also, Beetlejuice that year had like a rock concert going on next to Jurassic World.
True. He did have that.
I remember that very distinctly. And a good chunk of the mazes were based on movies that either came in the 80s or before it. So it was like Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw, Stranger Things was big that year.
And then Scare Zone 1 had Toto.
You know what, though? I'm going to make an argument for this because Bree and I were very upset about this. For 2023, when we would take the Starway down to the lower lot, please tell me why the fuck we're listening to, yeah, I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling all... Why?
You gotta feel good sometimes. You know what?
No, fuck that. This is Horror Nights. You're not doing that.
The Stargaze is your only safe haven that we can't touch, so it puts you in your happy place.
No. I'm not here for my fucking happy place. I'm here to be scared.
Place.
No. Because in previous years, we would hear like Rob Zombie, Slipknot, Marilyn Manson on the Starway. What is this pop cascade shit? I'm like, no. You play that during the day.
Happy place. No. During the day, you get Mamma Mia. And that was terrifying.
I mean, yeah.
Mamma Mia and Nelly's Dilemma. Terrifying.
You can only play that song so many damn times.
You never worked at Horror Nights or Universal during the daytime. I did, and that was excruciating.
Oh, I bet.
And I'm sure it was like in the last few podcasts I actually mentioned that like I listened to that going to work, and this is before Transformers was Transformers.
Oh, when it was still like Backdraft?
I worked Backdraft.
Oh.
I loved working Backdraft.
Backdraft was dope.
They gave me the microphone and they fucked up. Because I made announcements and made Backdraft hype as shit. I got awards for making Backdraft hype as I did. Like people used to be like, what the fuck is that over there? And I think I still remember what I used to say. I used to say some crazy shit. And this is how I think I started getting like a niche for the microphone. And I would always get on the microphone like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Universal Studios Backdraft, the hottest attraction here at Universal Studios lot. You may have fought Terminators, you may have ran from dinosaurs, but you'll never, ever, ever feel anything as hot as Backdraft. And people used to be like, is this fucking Monster Mash Sundays? What's going on over there? You know?
Good.
So that's literally why I was like, yay, Backdraft. And so I used to work there. And so that used to be the fun part. But working there, and if I didn't have the microphone, I was waiting because we would work in like sequences. So it'd be like me, a guy named Chris, a girl named Francis, and and then every time it worked like the studio tour. There's one person would go in with the group and they would be the host for that group, and the next person would go in, they'd be the first. But every 2 minutes every 2 minutes, I heard it, and it was like a drug in my brain. I was like, God damn it.
You know, Nelly did make other songs. You know that, right?
He did, but this is the only one that Universal decided to play because it was filmed on the Universal Studio backlot.
Yeah, I lived and breathed and died by that music video.
And then 2 minutes later, you're like, God damn it, son of a bitch!
Like, you just need to punch Nelly in the face on
I did, and I was like, why is this happening? And it was just so bad and awful. And I'll be like, okay, God, it's over. Thank you, Jesus. And then, oh, son of a god damn it. People thought that, oh yeah, this is a cute little song. I love Nelly Dilemma. So
yeah, but you can walk away from this whenever you want.
Yeah, you can. I'm stuck here for 8 hours a day. And I'd be so happy when they come in. Brett, your turn for the host. Thank God. But knowing my luck, as soon as I walk out, it just starts like, son of a, put me back in, coach. Put me back in. So yeah, that was the fucked up day of my life. So.
Oh. Sorry, man.
Yeah, trauma with the life, you know. So you go from horror, right? You go from drawing.
Well, that's Bree.
You go from drawing with her associate. No drawings of me. Okay, that's great.
My
Wonderful.
God.
Wonderful. Bree, guess what? You're gonna come on the podcast, and you got to have your confession day here. We're gonna put you on trial. And I'll look at you just very awkwardly,
as he does to me,
as I did to her. She's realized me and the soundboard are just passive aggressively looking at her like,
there's nowhere else I can look that's gonna make this easier. But no, Bree's the true artist here. I will always sing her praises. I
pray if I come back this year, the first thing I'm doing and I swear you guys better go to night 1. You guys better be the first ones there on night 1. And I pray to holy heavens that I'm on Scare Zone 1, because I'm just going to pull a chair up and I'm going to plant it right in front of you. And I'm just going to stare you guys down as only best way I can and just look at you. Just menacingly. I'm gonna look at you, look at the pad, look at you, look at the pad, look at the camera, look at you, look at the pad, and look at like, And I swear to God, if any other character comes around, I'm kicking them away. Like, no, go away. No, they don't get this. They don't get this from you yet. Nah. You will get hate stared down. And I've done it for less. I've done it for less reasons of giving zero fucks. You don't believe me? Go on YouTube. Ask what's his name? JP Parks. I think he does like influencing.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of his YouTube videos, especially when he does speculation maps.
Oh yeah. Ask him what happened with the possum.
Oh shit.
He was trying to make a single outro, and that's what happened.
My outro, and this happened.
Oh, you were like all in his face.
There was no space for him. Like, I made sure he knew who I was. You know what though? I also, going back to the Roadkill Brigade, I love the mask details so much for that, between the fact that the possum could chitter, I was the chittering possum.
I loved that. I thought that was so dope.
I was literally the chittering possum.
And I'm sorry, but what kind of took away from the pigman being scary was how floppy his ears were. It was
we made fun of his little pygmy ears.
It's so cute.
You wouldn't draw this in the dark. This is terrifying.
I don't do the drawing.
No. You're guilty by association.
Apparently.
And you don't see this. Me and Yayo. If you don't know Yayo, he works Waterworld. He's the guy who jumps off the thing when he's chasing Helen.
Oh shit.
So Yayo does a lot of stuff. He also does a lot of the Harry Potter work as well.
Okay.
But he does a lot of background and side gigs and stuff like that. But again, you will get angry stared at. Okay, like so angry, so angry.
Bree, I am so sorry.
Bree, you're just in trouble as her, and this is what's going. And I swear they better give me a terrifying mask, because I will be in your ear, just like this. And I will make this terrifying noise. Just me staring at you.
You know what though?
All night.
You know what? I'll give it this though. Your boy JB actually kind of beat you to the punch on that because he was, especially last year, was very much snarling, growling quite often.
Yeah, he does that a lot. Me and him both do that a lot.
Also, that son of a bitch had me curtsying all over Horror Nights for 2 months straight, absolutely shredding my form.
Well, he demands perfection.
A lot, mind you.
He demands a lot of perfection.
But you know what though? It's that energy that kept me coming back to Horror Nights so much last year. Like I did buy a frequent fear pass. I didn't buy the top tier. I bought the cheapest tier.
Yeah, you don't need to go on Saturdays and Fridays. Those are nights where you deal with assholes most of the time. So,
but no, real talk. I think out of the I'm just ballparking. It's obviously not the real number, but like out of the 30 days of Horror Nights that you could go, I could only go on like 25 of them. So I'm like missing 5 nights. That's not the worst.
Not the worst.
So one thing you guys will notice about me, but my day job is I'm a fashion designer. Like
she is.
I've been a fashion designer professionally now 9 years, and outside of my day job, I also do contracted costume work. So I do my own private costume work, all just here inside my own house. And I had a friend commission me to make him a costume in October. And one thing you have to know about me is I will absolutely refuse commissions in September and October because it's my spooky month. That's my me time.
Grr.
But this particular friend asked me for this costume, which it was a Monster High costume, and it was so beautiful. And I wanted it on my resume so bad that I was like, you know what? I'll take it. But I don't like that I have to do it in October. So what I would do is I would work on the costume enough to the point where I couldn't go further until I had him come in for a fitting.
Okay.
So when it got to that point, I'll look at my watch and be like, it's 11:30. Fuck y'all, I'm going to Horror Nights. So I would just go just to either people watch. I'd hit maybe a ride and a maze, but I would mostly just chill out and check out the scare zones.
As you should.
Also, not to give away my location, but I also live stupid close to the park. So
must be nice.
North Hollywood's kind of my hometown. So
I mean, I get it. I was raised in the valley, not as close as you are, but you know, I had to drive. Sometimes I have to drive back to home in Lancaster, which is so goddamn far.
No, that's far.
And I stay with my godmom who lives in Pacoima area, which isn't as bad. But my job is literally like a mile or two from Universal, like going right down Ventura. So literally I just go to the parking lot and just sleep in my car until the next shift. So I'm like, so that's if on a good day. If it's like a Friday, Thursday, you know, I don't have to go back. I can just go home. But I watch the sunrise. Like, oh God, this is gonna hurt. So it must be nice. You get to go home and sleep for a little bit and rest.
When I was working on that costume, it was pretty rough. Like there was a time where I didn't come to Horror Nights for I think like a full week. Part of it was I was blacked out, but I did have to work on this costume. So it would be working on the costume all night till 6 a.m, go to sleep for like 3 hours, and then get ready to go to work at my studio for my actual like day job, come home at 8 and go and do the process all over again. And it was like that for like a week and a half. I don't know how I made it, but I was exhausted.
Excedrin.
There was no Excedrin. There is no drug. There is no Z-Quil that could have helped me for that week and a half.
Let me tell you about that. Drugs are magical. My Excedrins were in a Pez dispenser, and I just kept popping them in every day. Like, all right, guys, here we go. Round 2. Okay, that's it. This is my final part. Bree. You have opened the dragon.
I can't save you, honey. I'm so sorry.
It's too late. Can she at least draw this for me?
Man, you gotta talk to her.
No. You're her advocate now, okay?
No.
You know what? I'm gonna find a ticket that had the freaking Fear Pass on it, which had me on it. I'm gonna put it right there on that wall somehow.
Again, I don't make the rules. I don't tell her what to draw. This is all her.
Oh no, you guys are in it together now. You guys are like Jack and Sally from Titanic. You guys are in it together.
Jack and Rose?
Yeah, thank you very much, Rose.
No. I can't take that claim, man.
Okay, that's fair. Can I at least hire you for a costume design later on when I want to make one?
Yeah, as long as it's not in my spooky season, then yes.
God damn it.
No. September and October are completely off limits.
I'm gonna make every costume that I've worn so I can come and stare you guys down.
You know what? Bye.
Nah.
Between my regular day job, my costuming contracted stuff, and now I've been doing the dolls. Like that's taken up so much of my.
And you go to Disneyland a lot, and you actually dress up like Disneyland characters, do you not?
Yeah, I do. I've done a handful of cosplays of Disney characters. Like I've done Belle, I've done Tiana, I've done Esmeralda. I even did a female version of Jack Skellington. I've even done Sally. So I've done quite a few. They're my easy go-tos. And then for a little while, I was actually the poster air quotes child for Monster High. Where I was Claudine Wolf, the daughter of the Wolfman. So I did that for some years. It was kind of their booth babe every year at San Diego Comic-Con for like about 6 years.
Okay, so you're not new to the game. You're good at this.
Oh no, I've been around. Hell, it was only actually last year. 2023 was a magical year for me. Good. I was finally awarded award-winning cosplayer.
As you should.
So
I've seen your costumes; they're amazing looking. I was like, God damn, she is good. Like you did, what's her name from Princess and the Frog, right?
Yeah, Tiana.
And I was like, okay, look, she got some skills. All right.
No, and then also thanks to one of my homegirls, she also rigged it so the dress could light up, so she looks like there's fireflies in her dress.
Oh, Michelle. Oh, okay.
So yeah, no, like a lot of work went into that gown. Again, as a Creole girl who actually does have family in New Orleans, it was a big deal to get that dress made. So yeah, I wore it to WonderCon last year, and I won a ribbon for it.
And then, you made it look amazing. I saw it. I was like, that is an amazing ass dress. Who was Prince Charming you were dancing with?
That from my Belle cosplay?
I think it was Belle, but I think you had one for Princess and the Frog too, did you not? Or
no, I didn't. The only person I met up with and did photos with in that costume was the villain, Dr. Facilier.
Gotcha, okay. My fault.
But there was a year I went to, it was last year, I went to Labyrinth of Jareth Masquerade. And one of my friends went as Beast, a human beast from Beauty and the Beast. And we were like, we have to do a dance together because this dress is so pretty and I need new photos and videos of it. So no, we made that happen. And
if somebody wanted to reach out to you, where can they find you for some prices or ideas? Or do you want to?
The easiest way is to contact me through social media. My Instagram is the one I'm the most active on, and the full title is Morningstar Moon Child.
All one word?
All one word.
All one word, just like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is fun today. I like this. I'm glad we made this happen. We're definitely gonna have a part 2 to this. You know that, right?
There's so much more to talk about.
There's so much more, but we're definitely gonna have a part 2 to this, and I'm glad this happened today. Like I'm really glad this happened today. Like
me too.
And funny enough, usually we go for 59 minutes, but you know what? This is so big, and that's why I say we have to have a part 2 to this because we're going an hour and 30 right now. And there's definitely so much more to talk about.
So much more.
And then we gotta get Bree in here. She'll stand trial.
Oh my God. Well, you gotta get her up from San Diego first.
God damn it.
She only really comes up here for me.
Okay, well when she gets out here, you let me know. We will clear a schedule out. We will get here. I will hassle her about these drawings.
Oh,
I will hassle you about this wall you have back here. But it will all work out.
You know what? At this point, between her art and my dolls, there's a line.
There's a line. There's like, and I hope to see this wall later on filled with more things with other characters, not just me, but other characters as well.
Well, that's the goal. We're gonna rotate it. It's meant to have art rotated every year.
You know what? I'm gonna tell JB to get over here too. Watch me. JB, she doesn't have you on her wall.
Don't.
JB, I hope you're listening.
Oh my God.
If not, I'll go to Disneyland find you and tell you what this is. And he'd be like, oh hell no. He don't. I can see him right now. She don't have me on her wall. Oh hell no. Oh no. Mm-mm.
No, you're gonna have this man making me curtsy in my own house.
He will.
Oh no.
We're just gonna show up in costume, knocking at your door.
I'm gonna see that on my Ring doorbell and lose my mind.
We're just gonna be sitting there waiting for you, like,
what's good?
What's good? I see Ian on there twice, or I see Nick Aquino on there twice. You have Ian's ghost, the same ghost, on there twice.
But it's 2 separate actors.
But the same goddamn ghost.
I don't see you getting this angry about poor Nick up there.
I love Nick. Nick is fun.
Oh, he's adorable.
Nick cracks me up. Nick does like some shit and this makes me laugh. Like, That's why I love you, Nick. Nick's like, yeah.
Aww.
So Nick's my boy. So, well, I'm glad you came on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that you came. This was one of those long ones in the making, but I'm glad it finally happened though. So definitely have to have a part 2 to this.
Yeah, part 2 is already long overdue.
It really is, and we definitely will have it done. Once again, tell people where they can find you and all your designs and your social media content.
For sure. On TikTok and Instagram, both of my names are the same, all one word, Morningstar Moon Child. You can find me also on Twitter, or X now, I guess.
X now, yeah, whatever the fuck that means. Whatever the fuck that means, not prerogative at all, right?
Exactly. On that, I am simply Moon Child Nil.
As it is. And we'll see her at Horror Nights, usually at the Starbucks Cafe area.
I'll be there.
Never at Terror Tram.
I am too.
Mm-hmm.
The disrespect.
There's no ants on that wall. There's no flies on that wall.
You're the worst.
I know. It happens that way. But yeah, guys, again, I'm talking Thunder, aka Brett, and this is Brett's Man Cave. Guys, I appreciate you guys for joining and listening to us, as we have followers from all around the world. I've actually found that out the other day on my stats list that I found out. We had people in, obviously, United States. We have some in Canada, Mexico, Guatemala, Brazil. I don't know if they can even understand me in Brazil, but I guess they do. We got Germany, France, Australia, and then even Russia. So, comrades, thank you for listening to Brett's Man Cave. Again, now, I thank you for coming down. We appreciate you. Give a round of applause to everybody.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Hey, you guys do a great job. You do a great job designing clothes, and camera work, if you will. If you good camera operator,
I try.
You do great because, hey, she wouldn't be where she is unless someone recorded it, right?
I mean, yeah.
So therefore, that's who you are. So yeah. Always have to have a good camera person, and you are the one. So again, thank you for joining us. You guys can always follow me on my Instagram, Brett's_Man Cave, and then on my bio link, all my links with /Brett's Man Cave. Follow me on social media anywhere I have it. So there it is. And listen to Brett's Man Cave on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast radio stations. I have a lot of followings on a lot of different platforms. I don't know why. I don't know how I got that good, but I try. But again, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll have a part 2 of this now going later on. The cool Moon Child, if you will.
I try to be.
And this goddess of the night.
Go on.
No, yes, flattery, young lady. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining Brett's Man Cave, and I'll see you guys next week on another episode of Brett's Man Cave. Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was amazing.